Hello everyone, I am Mr. Dishwasher. Previously, we watched One Piece episodes 1 to 1035. Today, we continue the story after episode 1035. For those who have forgotten the previous plot, you can check out our earlier videos. In the last episode, Kaido defeats Luffy, sending him plummeting into the sea. Kaido also finds Kinemon and Momonosuke and incapacitates Kinemon with a single move. Meanwhile, Onigashima is now directly above Wano, and the situation is dire. Bao Huang informs the entire island of Luffy's defeat, causing chaos among the allied forces. Chopper, influenced by this news, is gradually losing to Queen and is knocked down. Perospero, on the other hand, is creating a rain of arrows using candy, a barrage that threatens to wipe out the allied forces in the hull. Furthermore, Queen is preparing to strike Chopper while he's down. Just then, a man suddenly appears. Finally, Sanji arrives in the hall with Zoro to provide support. Afterward, Sanji asks Chopper to treat Zoro's injuries. He and Marco team up to intercept Queen and King. On the other side, Kinemon fights Kaido to the death to protect Momonosuke's escape. This situation reminds Momonosuke of their past. Many years ago, to evade Kaido's pursuit, Kinemon asked Momonosuke to disguise himself as Kinemon's own son. The two spent a long time adapting to this new identity. Since then, Kinemon no longer calls Momonosuke young master, and Momonosuke regards Kinemon as his father. So, despite their master-servant relationship, they share a father-son bond. Back to the present, with Kinemon's protection, Momonosuke finally manages to escape. However, Kinemon is fatally wounded by Kaido's massive blade. Then, Momonosuke suddenly hears Luffy's voice. To live up to Kinemon's sacrifice, Momonosuke decides to convey Luffy's message to everyone. Finally, Momonosuke uses a communication device to deliver the message, and the morale of the allied forces soars upon learning that Luffy is still alive. Currently, CP0 is observing the battle from a distance. This is due to the betrayal of 4,000 of Kaido's subordinates in the hall. The initial military strength comparison between the two sides, which started at 30,000 to 5,400, has now changed to 20,000 to 7,000. Next, Kaido has finally caught up with Momonosuke. He effortlessly shatters the ground, causing Shinobu and Momonosuke to fall from Onigashima Island. Seeing this, Kaido doesn't hold back and leaves immediately. Then, Shinobu uses her ninja technique to ensure Momonosuke safely lands on the ground. In the middle of the sea, Law's submarine locates Luffy and quickly rescues him from the ocean depths. Upon awakening, Luffy loudly expresses his desire for meat. At the same time, chaos ensues all over Onigashima Island as various battles unfold. Among them, Law and Kid team up to face Big Mom. The heavily injured Ulti manages to find Nami, Tama, and Usopp. She even knocks out Usopp with a headbutt and takes Tama. During this, Nami suddenly discovers that the Climattact has merged with Zeus' soul. It turns out that when Hera swallowed Zeus some time ago, Nami used the Climattact to rescue him, leading to their fusion. Now, Nami decides to rely on Zeus in her battle against Ulti. While Usopp is still on the ground, he fires the decisive Green Star Sargasso, saving Tama and ensnaring Yamato in seaweed. This allows Nami to seize the opportunity for a counterattack. She uses the Climattact to unleash a powerful move called Thunderbolt. In this manner, Nami defeats Ulti. Afterward, Usopp captures the person responsible for the island's broadcast, Bao Huang, and has Tama use the broadcast to send a message to the entire island. Currently, Speed has already distributed Tama's millet balls to all the gifters. Tama also uses the broadcast to rally everyone to join in defeating Kaido. In an instant, under Tama's call, the gifters turn against Kaido's forces, causing a dramatic turnaround in several battlefields. The gifters now become a powerful force within the alliance, while the beast pirates, including figures like Who's Who and Sasaki, find themselves surrounded by their own subordinates. On the other side, Yamato approaches Kaido. She declares her intention to break free from her constraints and drive Kaido out of Wano. With those words spoken, Yamato engages in a fierce battle with Kaido, wielding her weapon. Her goal is to delay Kaido's advance until Luffy's return. The battle between father and daughter fills the heavens and earth with thunder and lightning. Meanwhile, Queen recognizes the significance of Tama and considers using laser attacks against her, but Sanji intervenes, preventing any harm to Tama. Subsequently, Queen and Sanji engage in combat. Queen reveals his modified body, as he was once a scientist skilled in body modifications and a former member of the MADS research team led by Vegapunk. Just like Caesar and Judge, Queen was also part of MADS. Now, Queen relentlessly fires lasers at Sanji. Simultaneously, Chopper experiences the side effects of the Rumble Ball, leaving him severely weakened. He and the Mink tribe's doctor begin treating Zoro. Due to the severity of Zoro's injuries, only a specific Mink tribe antidote can save him. This unique medicine can heal all wounds, but the drawback is that it inflicts double the damage once its effects wear off. Without hesitation, Zoro requests the use of this medicine, and the doctor administers it with a small needle. Next, the scales of victory tilt further in favor of the Straw Hat Alliance. 2,000 former enemies join their ranks, increasing their total strength to 9,000. Meanwhile, the Beast's pirates suffer heavy casualties, leaving them with a mere 16,000 soldiers. Jinbe stands facing the enigmatic Who's Who, during their battle, exhibits CP9's formidable 6 powers. Techniques such as Saru, Rankyaku, and Iron Body are all within Who's Who's repertoire. It is revealed that Who's Who was once a member of CP9, and he proclaims himself to be a genius on par with Rob Lucci. However, during a mission to escort the prized Gomu Gomu no Mi, Shanks intercepts and absconds with the world government's highly coveted devil fruit. Consequently, Who's Who finds himself incarcerated for the mission's failure, harboring deep resentment towards both Shanks and Luffy. And then Who's Who escapes from the prison. In the present, Who's Who launches successive attacks on Jinbe using Fang Pistol and Finger Pistol spots. However, Jinbe effortlessly evades these assaults, countering with Fishman Karate and executing a devastating shoulder throw that inflicts severe damage upon Who's Who. This moment prompts Who's Who to reminisce about a legendary tale he had once heard, the sun god Nika, who was believed to have the power to free all slaves. Suddenly, Who's Who taunts Jinbe by deriding his former association with the Sun Pirates. He asserts that all fishmen were once slaves and that their history is inexorably linked to slavery. These words swiftly provoke Jinbe, leading Who's Who to seize the opportunity and unleash a barrage of finger pistols. The sheer might of these attacks causes Jinbe's blood to spatter. Just then, Jinbe taps into his extraordinary Busashoku haki. He begins by using his defensive capabilities to break Who's Who's fingers before, through sheer brute force, snapping his wrist. In the midst of this confrontation, Who's Who attempts a counterattack with Fang Pistol, but to no avail, as it fails to phase Jinbe. Jinbe then unleashes the mighty secret technique of Fishman Karate. And thus, Who's Who meets his defeat at the hands of Jinbe. On Frankie's side, his opponent is the Triceratops, Sasaki. First, they engage in a fierce wrestling match. Then, Sasaki transforms into his human beast form. He first draws a rotating blade and then spins his own neck to become a helicopter-like Triceratops in midair. At this moment, Sasaki launches a tornado-like assault, knocking down many gifters. However, all these attacks are effortlessly intercepted by Frankie. Seeing this, Sasaki suddenly lands and begins rotating his neck. It turns out to be Sasaki's secret move. He intends to use the wind generated by his neck to accelerate and sprint, attempting to defeat Frankie. Unexpectedly, Sasaki is quite comical. Afterward, he readjusts his rotation and launches a sprint attack, while Frankie deploys the general shield for defense. Although Sasaki's attack initially pierces Frankie's left shoulder weapon, he retaliates by performing a shoulder throw, slamming Sasaki to the ground. Then, Sasaki gets back up and initiates another Tricera bullet attack. This time, Frankie activates the hidden backup power source. He fires a cannon called the General Cannon, which instantly hits Sasaki. Seizing the opportunity, Frankie mercilessly beats Sasaki while he's down and fires another shot. In the end, Sasaki is defeated by Frankie. On the top of Onigashima, Yamato is still locked in a fierce battle with Kaido. She identifies herself as Odin and expresses her determination to protect the land of Wano. At this moment, Yamato activates her Devil Fruit ability, transforming into her human beast form. It turns out that Yamato's Devil Fruit is the Dog Fruit, Mythical Zoan, model, Okuchi no Makami. In the past, due to hunger, she had accidentally consumed this Devil Fruit. Now, in her human beast form, the battle between father and daughter becomes even more intense. They even begin clashing with powerful attacks like Blast Breath and Namuji Glacier Fang. On the other side, Robin and Brook confront Black Maria. Black Maria has a few subordinates who can create illusions using mirrors. These illusions correspond to the saddest memories of Robin and Brook. Among them are Robin's relatives from O'Hara, as well as the Rumbar pirate crew and Laboon. However, both Robin and Brook see through these illusions. Consequently, Black Maria takes matters into her own hands and launches an attack. Her weapon is named Wanyudo, with an individual who has consumed a devil fruit in the middle, granting them the ability to rotate and spew fire. However, Brook employs his soul projection, Cold Soul, and instantly freezes Wanyudo, rendering the devil fruit user powerless. Following that, Brook turns to deal with others, while Robin engages in a one-on-one battle with Black Maria. Robin transforms into a sea serpent using Gigante Fleur. However, Black Maria discovers a weakness in this move, as any damage inflicted on Sea Serpent would also harm Robin. Subsequently, Black Maria uses Spider Silk to restrain Sea Serpent and dons Knuckle Dusters, mercilessly beating Robin. Not only that, but after dispersing Sea Serpent, Black Maria continues to bind Robin's body and launch relentless attacks. At this moment, Robin recalls techniques she had learned in the Revolutionary Army. She employs Fishman Karate and Ryusoken to temporarily drive Black Maria back. Then, Robin unleashes her ultimate move, transforming into her Demonio Fleur form. In this demon form, Robin's combat prowess skyrockets. She effortlessly blocks Black Maria's attacks and, in a counterattack, entwines Black Maria, intending to split her in two. In the end, Robin's demon form proves too much for Black Maria to handle, and Brook easily defeats Black Maria's subordinates. After the battle, Robin has expended too much energy and faints in Brook's arms. At this point, apart from Drake, all the Tobiroppo members have been defeated. Kaido is left with only Big Mom, the three All-Stars, Perospero, and a few others by his side. On Luffy's side, they encounter Momonosuke and Shinobu. By this time, Luffy has devoured all the meat and still feels unsatisfied. Fortunately, Caribou appears in the nick of time, providing Luffy with food. Caribou wishes to aid Luffy in defeating Kaido, as that is the only way he can escape Wano country. At the same time, Luffy entrusts Momonosuke with flying him back to Onigashima Island. To transform into a flying dragon, Momonosuke seeks Shinobu's assistance in ripening himself using her ripe fruit power. In other locations, Reizo employs his shadow clone jutsu to engage in combat with Fukurokuju. Kid and Law are joining forces to confront Big Mom. Furthermore, Killer is currently engaged in a one-on-one battle with Hawkins. Hawkins possesses the ability of the straw fruit. Not only can he transform into a scarecrow, but he can also transfer the damage he receives using the voodoo dolls on his body. Originally, Hawkins is not a match for Killer, and the voodoo dolls continue to deplete. However, he carries Kid's voodoo doll, which redirects the damage he sustains back to Kid. This prevents Killer from attacking Hawkins. Shifting our focus to the hall, Sanji is engaged in a solo battle against Queen and King. He aims to buy time for Zoro's recovery but is gradually overwhelmed by these two formidable opponents. Moreover, Perospero proves to be particularly cunning. He lurks nearby, preparing to use arrows for a sneak attack on Sanji. Finally, Nekomamushi arrives just in time and sends Perospero flying. He seeks vengeance for Pedro's death. Simultaneously, Inuarashi is challenging Jack alone to avenge Zou Island. On the other side, Sanji is continuously harassed by Queen and King takes the opportunity to launch a sudden attack in front of Zoro. He is also preparing to unleash his ultimate move to take advantage of the situation and eliminate Zoro. Finally, Marco appears just in time to intercept King's attack. Furthermore, Marco also recognizes King as a descendant of some mysterious race. In the past, Whitebeard had informed Marco that on the cliffs of the Red Line, there used to be a race capable of spewing fire. It was said that before the appearance of Mary Geos, that place was considered a kingdom of the gods. However, this race had disappeared over time. Meanwhile, Queen reveals that the name of this mysterious race was Lunarians. At this moment, Marco suddenly raises his hands, sensing Zoro's awakening, and decides to step out of the battlefield. Finally, Zoro, after recovering from his injuries, joins forces with Sanji in the fierce battle against King and Queen. With this, the Straw Hat Crew's wings are reunited, ready to take on the battle. During the intense battle, Sanji suddenly notices that something is amiss with his body. Seizing this opportunity, King launches a surprise attack on Sanji. Following this, Sanji uses his Diable Jam to confront Queen, while Zoro faces off against King, who is armed all over his body. King is, in essence, a killing machine. At this moment, Hyogoro observes the battle from the sidelines and suddenly realizes that Zoro bears a striking resemblance to the late Shimatsuki Ashimaru, the descendant of Shimatsuki Ryuma, the legendary swordsman of Wano. Zoro, who has returned Shusui to the country of Wano, seems to be connected by fate to Ryuma and Ashimaru, and they are all one-eyed swordsmen. On the other side, Luffy has finally finished eating all the food, instantly digesting and healing all his injuries. Momonosuke, with the help of Shinobu, has transformed into an adult appearance. So, Luffy seeks out Momonosuke, needing him to transform into a giant dragon to aid in their return to Onigashima. That concludes the main plot points from One Piece episodes 1036 to 1046. Although the updates for the One Piece anime can be quite slow, I will continue to provide updates in accordance with the progress of the show. To all the fans of One Piece videos out there, please remember to like and subscribe, it truly means a lot to me. Thank you, everyone, and goodbye.